What's up, vapors? Nick here for Daily Vape TV. Today we're going to be reviewing Fog's Brew's entire line. Yes, you heard me right. The entire line by Fog's Brew. Daniel sent me these for review. They have 5 flavors out now, and I'm just going to go right down the list. They also sent me this t-shirt and these cool little menus here, so that's pretty nice. The flavors we're going to try today are Fog of Eden, a savory and unique dessert blend reminiscent of an apple crepe. Tropical Fog, which is citric fruits blended with a papaya and coconut. Dew Fog, which is melons blended with strawberries and with a hint of refreshing mint. Trio Fog, which is exquisite mix of pear, apricot, and other fruits. And Frosted Trio Fog, which is a mix of pear, apricot, and other fruits infused with cooling menthols. Before we get rolling, I just want to note that I did contact them and they told me that all these juices are somewhere between 80-20 and 70-30 VG-PG ratios. They didn't tell me specifically which one was which, so that doesn't really matter for me. That performs about the same. You only get a little bit of vapor difference. Now I do want to point out that I'm using my Sigelei 30 watt today at 30 watts, 4.89 volts with a 0.8 ohm twisted 28 gauge microcoil. And I'm changing wicks in between each flavor to ensure that I get the most pure flavor out of it. I have been trying these juices out for the past few weeks since they sent them to me, but I just want to give you an updated review on them. So yeah, let's get started and try these out. So the first flavor on our list today is Fog of Eden. I've been vaping this one on and off for the past couple weeks since they sent it to me, and I'm not really a huge dessert vape guy, but for me, this one is pretty decent. I was actually quite surprised on how good this is. So let's give it a quick test here. So as you can see, these create tons of vapor. This one for me is, it tastes a lot like, an apple pie. It says apple crepe on here. I've never actually had an apple crepe, but I am getting like a warm, smooth apple flavor and a really good creamy aftertaste. I guess some could say almost like an eggy taste to it, almost a custard. So I guess that's where you get the crepe from. I do detect a little hint of cinnamon, but it's a very sweet cinnamon. This one, it would definitely be good for after dinner, something like that, but couldn't be an all-day vape for me. But it is a really good flavor. For the flavor itself, I'll give it a 3.5. Again, not for me, but I guarantee others out there will like it. For the vapor, I'll give it a 4. Tons of vapor, can't really complain too much about that. And for the throat hit, I'll give it a 4. It's right on point, right where I like it. Not too harsh, not too, it is noticeable, but it's not really over the top. So that does it for the Fog of Eden. Let's change our wick and try the next flavor. Going right down the list now, the next flavor is Tropical Fog. This is one of my personal favorites. I actually snagged a bottle of this at the VCC convention, so that was pretty cool. And I've been vaping this one for about 3 weeks now, and it is an all-day vape for me. I could vape this one all day, not even touch any other mods, and be completely satisfied. So let's give it a quick taste here. Delish. Love it. As you can see, also tons of vapor. Now this one, it does have a really heavy citrus to it, which I actually do enjoy. You don't see many tropical blends that actually do include the citrus with it. The papaya though is a little bit muted. I'd like to see a little bit more of that one, but the finish on this one is a really smooth, creamy coconut, which I absolutely love. So the citrus is very tart, sweet, bright, with a really soft undertone of coconut on the finish, on the exhale. It leaves a good flavor on your tongue, so this is an all-day vape for me. Loving this one. I'm guessing this is one of the ones that's 80-20 because the vapor is absolutely top-notch on it. Let's give it one more drag here. For the flavor, I'm giving this one a 5. Absolutely love this one. I could vape it all day. Vapor, also 5. Tons of vapor. And the throat hit, I'll give it a 4. Again, about average. These are pretty consistent with their throat hits. You don't get too much in a particular juice and not enough in another one, so good job on that one, guys. Alright, so again, let's change our wick and get to the next flavor. Alright, so the next flavor on our list is Dew Fog. This one is melons blended with mint, so let's give it a try here. Now, I was able to also try this one at VCC, so that was really cool. I really enjoyed this one. I was looking forward to reviewing it. I really get a lot of the sweet honeydew kind of flavor. It's not so much a cantaloupe as it is a honeydew, and it's very subtle. You know, it doesn't really punch you right in the face, but I like the mint as well. It kind of hits you second, and the mint in this is like really sweet mint. It's almost like sugary mint, like the end of a mojito or something like that. And it really lasts for a while after you exhale. It stays on your tongue for a little while. Now this one, it also says there's strawberry in there, but I gotta tell you, I'm not really getting any of the strawberry. I kind of wish there was a little bit more, because the mint really cuts through, so I'd like to see something else on the exhale. But overall, this one is pretty darn good. Don't know if it's an all-day vape for me, but it's very relaxing. I can come home from work and just sit down and vape this stuff and feel very refreshed. So for my ratings for it, I'll give it a 4 for the flavor. For the vapor, I'll give it a 4.5. I'm pretty sure this is another 80-20, but I noticed that I get a little bit less than the other ones. And for the throat hit, another 4. Like I said, it's very consistent throat hit through all these. Okay, time for the next one. Alright, so for the next two, it's going to be the same flavor, but one version has menthol added to it. Now, I thought that was a little bit of an interesting choice, but we'll get to that in a little bit. So let's try the Tree of Fog. Now this is a pear apricot blend, but I gotta tell you, I'm not really getting a ton of that pear flavor. I'm definitely getting the apricot that's cutting right through, which the apricot in this one is really good. You don't see a lot of blends that include apricot, so I'm glad to see that in there. I would like to see a little bit more of that, that pear though. I think it would give it a really nice touch on the exhale, especially. For the apricot is very bright, it's very crisp, like very ripe apricot, very sweet also. For my ratings, I'll give this one a 4.5 on the flavor. I do absolutely love this flavor, but I gotta see more of that pear. For the vapor, 5. I think this is one of the ones that's 80-20, could be wrong, but I get a ton of vapor out of it. For the throat hit, I'm giving it a 4. Average, again, you know, nothing too special, just right where I want it to be. Alright, so let's drip the next one on here and get going. Alright, so before I try this one out, I gotta mention that I haven't vaped this one yet because I've been really putting it off and putting it off. I gotta note that I mostly try my juices in both my dripper and also my David or Nautilus tanks on like my MVP or my Legend or something like that. So I try to get a feel for both, you know, both sides of vaping. Now with my dripper, I usually don't vape menthol in here because it just kicks you right in the back of the throat, and I haven't vaped menthol in quite a long time, so here it goes. Yeah, this one for me just doesn't do it. Like I said, that 70-30 or 80-20, whatever it is, in a dripper with menthol just doesn't pair well for me. The menthol in it is really strong. It really mutes out a lot of that flavor, and I just don't quite understand this one or why they put menthol in it. I mean, I know some of you out there love your menthol, but for me, just does not do anything for me. So it's not for me. The flavor itself is good when you taste it. I mean, for me, I get all the menthol first, and it really mutes out all the other flavors, and you get a little bit of that aftertaste, the same kind of familiar flavor as the original Tree of Fog. But yeah, this one doesn't do it for me. But otherwise, I think for you menthol junkies, it'll be for you. So for my ratings, I'll say flavor, I'll give it a 3, because, you know, it's not terrible as far as the flavor goes, but that menthol just kills it for me. For the vapor, I'll give it a 4. Pretty sure this might be a 70-30 blend, not sure. For the throat hit, I'll give it a 3. The only reason I'm giving this one a 3 for throat hit is because I can't even take a very long drag on it, so I can't get a good feel for the throat hit. So that about does it for my reviews. Thanks for watching, guys. If I had to say my favorite out of all these is probably going to be Tropical Fog. The flavor on this one is amazing. You should really try these guys out. I'll have the link in the description if you want to get any of these flavors for yourself. Don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe, and as always, vape on.